Lilac Ball is a Russian children's science fiction movie. It's also known as the Purple Ball. So depending on, like if you're searching on the internet, you can search for either. It was directed by Pavel Arsenov and it stars Natalia Guseva. She plays the character of Alisa. Now there are other actors, but I checked the IMDb page and I realized like I can't pronounce most of these names. So she's the only one that I'm going to go with. Okay, so Natalia Guseva starred in a TV series called Guest from the Future, and that was really popular in the Soviet Union. And so this is a sequel to that show. All right, so the movie starts off, and we have a spaceship which is on a routine mission, and they're hoping to run into one of their friends who's like an archaeologist by the name of Gromozeka. And but instead of running into him, they end up running into this sort of mythical pirate ship called the Black Wanderer.
Я думал, это легенды.
It's a pretty small crew. It's just like the captain and he has like a second in command and his daughter, which is Alisa. And she has like a pet frog that she says is a princess from like, far back in Earth's history, who's been turned into a frog.
Что это такое? Этого не может быть.
Не бойся, она летит со мной. И не лягушка, а заколдованная принцесса.
So anyway, so they run into the Black Wanderer and they decide to sort of like, dock with it and explore it. And they find like, the archaeologist is on board.
Кажется, слышу шаги. Спокойно, зеленый, спокойно.
Громозека.
So when they sort of look around, Alisa finds this purple ball, which she sort of brings on board. And then the captain finds this footage from the ship, which shows like how these pirates actually died. And it turns out that the ball that she has gotten actually contains something called as the virus of enmity. So when it breaks, it releases like a gas, this virus, which makes everyone sort of hate each other and then they kill each other. So you get this footage of like the pirates have slaves, and then one of the slaves sort of sacrifices himself and like destroys one of those balls, and it makes the entire crew go insane and they kill each other. But then you find out that before they died, so this is like a long time back, this is like 26,000 years ago. So you find out that they had sent like a recon mission to Earth and they had left one of the balls on Earth. So their plan or their general modus operandi has been like, you go to a planet, you explode one of these balls, the population ends up killing each other, and then you just go down there and you take everything that you want. So now the ship is dead, like the pirates are all dead, but they did leave like one of the purple balls on Earth, and when the ship is sort of drifting towards Earth, so when it gets close enough, the ball will explode and kill everyone on Earth. So the crew decides, okay, we need to get back to Earth and warn people. So they get back to Earth, but the space command thinks that they've gone mad, so they put them in quarantine. But then Alisa comes up with the idea that, okay, we have a time machine. For some reason they have a time machine. And she says like, I'll travel back in time with, what was his name again? Gromozeka. And we'll travel back 26,000 years ago to what she calls as the age of legends. And we will see where the aliens have landed, like where the pirates landed, and we'll just, steal the ball after they've left it. And that's how we'll end up saving Earth. So the rest of the movie is them, traveling back and their adventures over there. Positives and negatives. So first of all, like the acting is fine. Like there's nothing exceptional. The direction is also fine. Like the acting, direction, cinematography are all, decent. It's nothing exceptional. The story is good. Like I like the plot, like the whole idea that pirates have left like this weapon on Earth or this bomb on Earth, which they have to go and retrieve. It's a pretty good story. What makes the film really interesting is it is really creative and imaginative as far as like the design is concerned and all the various creatures and the practical effects. So all of that stuff makes it really enjoyable. Okay, so like starting from top, because there are quite a few things that I like. So first of all, like the spaceship design is pretty unique. Like it's not like your standard flying saucer. It actually has like these sails which sort of fold out. The interior of the spaceship is also different enough. Like they're not going for like the standard Hollywood design. So it's actually pretty tiny. Like I don't think they had a very big budget. So they have like a control room, like a bridge, but it's just like a sofa and like a bunch of controls. And then behind it, there's like a staircase that goes up, and you have like a dining area, and then you have like these two corridors which go from the side, and it's all like the major lighting is in the dining area, so it's sort of lit up very nicely. It's pure white, and then you have like these orange corridors that go from the side. So it's a nice interior design for a spaceship. It's different enough from what I've normally seen.
Курс.
Норма.
Скорость.
Норма.
Once they start coming back to Earth to sort of warn the space command of like, there's a bomb on Earth, and the space command is like, no, these people have gone crazy. So they release this quarantine ship to capture them. The quarantine ship is really fun to look at because it's such a simple idea, but it's very different from anything you've seen. So it's literally like, imagine like a glass bowl and a saucer below it, which sort of detaches. So it's like a conical glass bowl, okay, or a plastic, cap, and there's a saucer below it, and it just sort of goes under their spaceship. So there's like a chase scene, and then the glass bowl sort of captures the ship, and the saucer comes and sort of locks it in. And I was like, that's cool. Like it's very different from, like there's no tractor beam or anything like that.
Говорит профессор Селезнев. Мне надо сделать срочное сообщение для Академии наук.
Once they travel back to like the age of legends, to like 26,000 years ago, then it gets pretty creative. So when they sort of time travel and come back, you get these little critters which sort of reminded me of like larger versions of like in Spirited Away, in the Studio Ghibli anime. You have these little sort of dust balls, okay, and they kind of reminded me of that in the sense that they're just like these clamshells with like very intricate sort of patterning on it, and they have like legs. They don't really do too much, but they're pretty cute to look at. So you have that, and then there is like a tree with ears. And then you get like a dragon, like not a big dragon, like a very small dragon. It almost looks like a plushie, but it's done well. Like the nice thing is you don't see the wires. Like when they show the dragon flying, you don't see the wires, because there are close-up shots where like Alisa is talking to the dragon, and it's like comes in pretty close, but you never get to see the wire. So that's done pretty nicely.
Здравствуй. Ты не видел волшебника Уха? Понимаешь, он мне очень нужен.
Then they run into Baba Yaga. That stuff is like okay. Her hut or her cottage is done very nicely, because if I'm not wrong, like I remember reading a little bit about Russian folklore or fairy tales when I was young, and Baba Yaga's house is like legs, like it walks around. So they can't really make it walk around, but it has like these spindly little roots which are sort of like wiggling. So that's done nicely. And then you have this giant baby bird that hatches from an egg and sort of like breaks its egg and everything. And then you have like these two practical effects which they pull off, which are very impressive. So they run into, like, she has a friend who's a wizard called Oo, and Wizard Oo is on like a flying carpet. The flying carpet is done really well. Again, like, can't spot the wires. Maybe I didn't look close enough. But there is a shot where you see him sort of land in snow, and it's like completely in camera. You actually see it come in and do like this smooth landing in snow. Extremely well done. And then the last and probably like the most impressive thing is Gromozeka, who is so he's sort of like an alien, or like a human looking alien, but he has like 4 arms. So he's like 7 feet tall and he has 4 arms.
Как это все странно и бессмысленно.
All the 4 arms react very naturally. So I'm like, 2 are his, but then the other 2, which he sort of like, which are like that, are actually like also reacting very naturally. So and I couldn't figure out how they're doing this. Like, the only thing I can think of is that there is another person inside that costume, because he's a huge guy.
Не может быть. Изверг.
It's probably one of the best effects in the movie. The only negative I have of the film is, or like a couple of negatives, like the various critters that you see. Like, you have the tree with the ears, and you have the clamshell thingies which are walking around. They don't really do too much with it. You get a dragon, but they don't do too much with the dragon. So they spent a lot of time with Baba Yaga, which was all kind of like not particularly interesting. Yeah, so that's like one issue. The other one is, I would have liked to have the climax be more action-packed than it was. Like, it was fine. Like, given that the director does do a fairly action-packed sequence, like when you see the pirates dying, like that stuff is pretty action-packed. Like, you have like a whole bunch of people die. You get these 2 people who like set each other on fire. So given that he does that, the actual climax of the film is pretty like tame, or not tame, but just like it never, he never ups the ante, like with the fact that they're going to leave a bomb here which contains a virus and all of that stuff. It never gets to the point where it's like, oh, we have very little time left, and now it really needs to, you have to build up the tension, and he doesn't do that. So maybe it's a directorial fault, or maybe the choice was that, okay, it's a children's film, so let's not make it too scary. Either ways, I feel like it would have been, I would have enjoyed it more if it had a better or a more action-packed ending. Even the way it is, it's not bad. It's just like, things that you wish would have happened. Overall, it's a really fun movie. This is also one of those movies where I feel like, because I've seen a couple of newer Russian movies, they do some pretty good VFX in Russia now. Like, I've seen like this one superhero movie called Grom and the Plague Doctor or something like that, and like really good VFX work. So it would be nice if if somebody picked this up and decided to remake it. It would be, because it is a good story overall. So recommendations, absolutely. Like, it's a fun little, very creative, imaginative, science fiction movie. And when I say little, like, it's like an hour, 10 minutes. And it's on YouTube. So if you ever get interested in watching like a Russian science fiction movie, you should absolutely give this one a go.